Good morning. So nice to see you. I almost caught myself saying happy Monday. It feels a bit like that on this shortened week, but it is a Tuesday after we've come off the Labor Day weekend. Hope that you had a great one. And I heard on the radio on my way into work that this is something they call Telephone Tuesday. This is the day, apparently, when businesses all across the country get more calls today than ever any other time of the year because people are saying goodbye to summer and they're looking ahead to the holiday season. So it's a great time for us to kick the show off with Kevin Fuerst, who's back on the show with Fuerst Financial Group. And I'm setting you up because you said you kind of wanted today to talk about the fundamentals, as you put it.
Right.
So before we do get into that holiday spending season, you want to give us some caution about making sure, what is your phrase? You have to watch a thing to change a thing?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Always. And so in anything you do, whether it's, we were talking earlier, you know, we're on the beginning of the football season. And so these college players, I watched some of the games this weekend, these guys practice all the time the fundamentals. And the way they become professionals is they get better at the fundamentals because nothing really changes in the game. We all know the game. It's just practicing the fundamentals. And I think it's the same with finance.
Right.
We have to practice the fundamentals. You have to live below what you make. I mean, you can't spend everything you make, I should say. You have to stay out of debt as much as possible. You have to save something. I mean, save as much as you can, really. And those are some of the basics of finance. And so people think it's it's some kind of a magical thing.
Right.
There's a book I read early in my career called The Millionaire Next Door.
Oh, yeah.
And it talked about that very thing. It were people back in the 40s, 50s, 60s that saved money, lived below their means, bought modest homes, stayed there for their whole life. And I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying those are the basics, the fundamentals. And they became millionaires and they live next door to you and you don't even know it.
So, okay, a couple of things that are coming through my mind. This is not advice to give, it's just a conversation at the moment with Kevin. But I can remember as a kid growing up, credit cards were not really a thing. Pretty much you might go to the bank and take out a loan, but you pretty much lived on what you made. You either had the money or you didn't.
Correct.
Certainly debit cards didn't exist.
Correct.
Then you enter in the technology that we live with today, and we have this instantaneous world, so our patience has diminished. Do you think that plays a factor? Because the idea of, quote, just saving $100 this month doesn't seem like much because you want the big payoff quickly?
Right. So the fundamental is you're not having any delay in your gratification. You want instant gratification. And so that's the fundamental. So you have to go back to what's the principle. The principle is that you save until you have X amount of dollars above what you want and then go pay cash for it.
Right.
That's a fundamental. Pay cash for things and then live within your means. So if you're buying a Lamborghini and you can really only afford
a Pinto.
Well, that okay. Or I was thinking Honda or something like that. But I think then you're outside the fundamentals again. You're buying more than what you can really afford.
So, is it important if you're trying to establish these fundamentals, and we'll play part philosopher now with this conversation, Kevin, but the company you keep matters. So if you are trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, it's one of the best things you can do, pull back and give yourself permission to not walk that path.
Yeah, I think you have to choose wisely, I guess. You have to be careful who you hang out with. I think that matters some.
Right.
But it doesn't always have to be about money. You can do things and have fun and hang out with whoever you want to.
Right.
You just have to guard your own financial well-being because it goes back to the fundamentals. The fundamentals is still just don't get into debt, don't overspend, and don't be led down the path of I got to have something. And we've all done it.
Sure.
I'm the worst of all. So I want something and I don't want to wait. That delayed gratification is gone.
Right.
But I have learned to temper myself and say, okay, here's what I want. and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to do it over this period of time, or I'm going to go at it a certain way.
So there are probably people watching thinking it sounds great, but have you been to the grocery store lately? Or my investments in my 401k are just going topsy-turvy, and every time I think we're getting ahead, the market tumbles again. So from an investment standpoint, I know you have to be careful what you really advise on the air, but if you're looking to invest in the stock market, when it's low, the positive spin is it's a good time to buy.
It is.
Is that right?
That's right. You still have to go back to fundamentals. Over time, you put money in. It's called dollar cost averaging. You're putting in $1 every month for 12 months, and so you're getting an average price. So, you know, again, that's a fundamental, just saving on a regular basis, just like we pay our taxes on a regular basis. I wish people still had to pay taxes directly. I wish we didn't have them withdrawn from our check.
Oh,
it would make us more aware of how much we really pay in taxes.
Yes.
But the same with saving. If you set a certain amount in your savings, all of a sudden, or if you get a raise, instead of taking the money home, you know, up your 401 or your simple whatever you have, and pay more into it so that you don't see it. And then that's a good fundamental of saving on a regular basis, so that you have the money you need later on. I mean, the markets have gone up and down for years and years and years.
Sure.
And so you just have to be wise in what you get. And you don't have to put it all in the market. I'm a big believer in property. I think having real estate is important. It's part of your portfolio.
Are you a big believer in cash? Do you think it's a good idea to have some cash reserve?
Yes, but I think there's also a place to keep cash where you can make money. Right now, my opinion is it doesn't seem like the banks are paying much on their savings. I know there's money markets out there that pay anywhere from 4.5% to 5.5%.
Right.
Why wouldn't you put your money in something that's going to make money? That's a fundamental. Why get nothing and let your money sit in a bank because you feel comfortable when you can move it to a money market account and make 4 or 5%.
If you don't have these good fundamentals as part of your life right now, I know when my kids were little and you'd introduce vegetables to them, and of course they would always turn away, and the pediatrician would say you have to introduce it something like 6 to 10 times before they'll kind of get it. They don't have a choice here. So is it a good idea to maybe begin these fundamentals now if you're not doing it, and if you are doing them, really reinforce it, and by January it'll be just built-in muscle memory for you?
Somewhat. I mean, it takes a while. It depends on your lifestyle, what you've been doing, what you haven't been doing. But I think you have to go back to those fundamentals, see what they are, make the change. And you don't have to do it all at once. Sometimes you can't. You can't save, you know, $1,000 a month, which might be what you need to save to get to retirement. So you pull it back. Do $100 a month. Do $50 a month. Do 25 is the minimum. And you can do 25, they will do a $25 draft. So there's your minimum. But start somewhere and then go from 25 to 35 and 45 and so on.
Are you still doing your classes that you hold?
I have some classes that we do.
Yeah.
I don't do them necessarily for the public anymore. We have about 10 seats left in my practice that I'm willing to take on. In other words, when I get once we get to 100 clients, I'm going to be at a certain level. I will be done taking on new clients unless I lose some of those clients.
Gotcha. But when you come here, you can at least impart your knowledge to anybody watching, and they're pretty simple steps.
Yeah. And you hear things out there on the radio all the time about this product, about this stock or this thing that people, and I think we get caught up in that sometimes. There is no silver bullet, so to speak. And I think it's why we're talking about the fundamentals today.
Remember It's a Wonderful Life? And when Jimmy Stewart manages to get through the day and he has $2 left.
Right.
So he paid everything he had to pay to everybody, but he still had $2.
And saved the bank. So,
I've been there. I'm sure you've been there too.
Absolutely.
That too is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
When you cover what you have to pay.
Right.
Even that is a good thing.
It is a good thing, yep.
So if people do have questions, if they want to see if they can be one of those 10 spots that you have left, do they just call you?
They call us.
Okay.
Yep. We do a free interview. They kind of get a look at us. We can talk to them about what they're wanting to do, where they're wanting to go, and see if we can help them or not. And we've had several people from the show come, and we've been able to help some not.
Well, here's the number, 899-8555. And don't forget his little saying, you have to watch a thing to change a thing.
To keep a thing or change a thing. You're right. You said keep.
I think it's to change a thing. I remembered. I took a note, and I have found that applicable in more ways of my life than just
everything.
finances. Yes.
Well, we should all step on the scale once a day. That would
hush.
be good. Change a thing. We will change it.
Now I got to kick you off.
See, there you go.
GrowKeepLeave.com is the website. Kevin Fuerst is his name. It's a family business. You'll find his son there as well. So great to see you this morning. Thank you.
Good to see you, Julie. Thanks.